Hi, welcome back to Arbitrary 20, and today we're going to be talking about the Runecrafter Wizard from the new Unearthed Arcana.
And we'll get into the first two second level abilities here. First up, we have Runes of Understanding. Your study of runecraft has unlocked the ability to decode runes and languages, regardless of their origin. You always have the Comprehend Languages spell prepared, and you can cast it without expending a spell slot, and the spell doesn't count against the number of spells you have prepared. And second, we have Runic Empowerment. When you choose this subclass, you learn how to amplify your magic through the application of various runes. Your knowledge of these runes is stored in your spellbook, though you determine the rune's cosmetic appearance. For example, your runes could be engraved into the cover of your spellbook, glowing whenever you cast a spell, or you could work the shape and meaning of the runes directly into the spell's somatic and verbal components. When you cast a spell using a spell slot, you can invoke one of the following runes. The first rune option is Life Rune. When you invoke this rune, you choose a creature you can see within 30 feet of you. You can choose yourself. The chosen creature gains temporary hit points equal to 5 times the level of the spell slot. Second is War Rune. When you invoke this rune, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you until the end of your next turn. Attack rolls against that target have a bonus equal to half the level of the spell slot expended. When you invoke this rune, your speed increases by a number of feet equal to 5 times the level of the spell slot expended, and your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. These benefits last until the start of your next turn. You can only invoke one rune per spell, and you can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per long rest.
Not bad. Honestly, not bad in my opinion.
Yeah. Definitely a decent ribbon feature. Comprehend Languages is a pretty good spell. You always have access to it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on your campaign and the rest of your party, but yeah.
I feel like that comes up pretty often, though.
But you usually could cast it as a ritual anyway, but it is nice to have.
Yeah. I mean, you'll have to take the extra 10 minutes to cast it now, right? So.
Yeah.
Should be nice.
And then, as far as the runes go, they're all decent. I mean, I definitely like War Rune the best. This is definitely more support, though, because you're basically going to give your allies attack bonus to attack rolls, because you're not really going to be making attack rolls the same turn you do this, likely. At least not very many.
Yeah, when does that end?
It's for a turn.
End of your next turn.
It's for a round, yeah.
So you could get it on your next turn.
That's true, yeah.
So it's not bad. Plus, like, using third level spell slots, they're getting a +3 to hit. Or sorry, a +2 to hit, because it's cut in half rounded up.
Half rounded up, yeah. So for a third level spell slot, all attack rolls against the chosen creature, would get a benefit of +2, which is pretty good, yeah.
Honestly, that's pretty
You
good.
give your entire party the archery fighting style.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I know they're not doing damage, but it is very
That
supporting.
does cause them to do more damage, for sure, yeah.
On average, they hit way more often. The wind rune kind of comes up. I mean, if you don't want a misty step, you could just use this and run away.
That is true, yeah. And it's not disengage. It just says you don't provoke opportunity attacks. So in the weird situation where somebody has the sentinel feat against you, but this will still work.
Yeah.
And Life Rune, it's definitely not bad. 5 times the spell slot expended.
So if you did it 4th level,
20 hit points.
Yeah.
Could be pretty good.
That's not bad.
Especially for yourself, since, you're a wizard, you got low
Squishy.
HP, yeah.
Yeah, level 2, you might be doubling your effective HP. So
Yes.
you are a tank now.
Double
wizard
tank.
tank.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you have a 0 constitution, you could be doubling it pretty easily.
Well, how many runes do you get? I don't know much about the proficiency bonuses of this.
So
that would be
you
based off of
only
your...
get 2 uses of this right now.
At level 2. And then level 5?
I think War Rune is definitely the play with the limited use.
War-
Wind Rune in a pinch, but
Yeah.
Yeah, War Rune is definitely superior, and then Life goes after it, and then Wind. I
Because
think is
War
like-
Rune will always benefit your entire party, as where Life and Wind Rune will only benefit one person at a time.
Yeah, I mean, Wind Rune is pretty decent though. Like,
Oh, it's good.
getting out of sticky situations is
Yeah.
would probably be better than getting temporary hit points.
I would always default to War Rune, but Wind Rune if you need it.
Yeah.
That's fair. Movement is also really good, but
I know it'd be broken, but I kind of wish Life Rune actually gave HP. But
Wizards can't heal, dude.
Yeah, I
They
know.
just don't allow it.
I know. But it'd be so good to pick people up
Yeah.
with that. But that would be actually broken, so I understand.
well, even with the Life Rune, you could
It's temp HP.
temp HP, so you can't like bring someone back from it. That's
No,
that's
you
yeah.
unfortunately cannot. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was-
yeah.
Yeah,
War
you just
Rune,
had a lot-
War
yeah.
Rune is S tier.
For whatever reason, they just don't. Yeah. Well, I mean, I get it lore-wise why they don't let wizards heal, but yeah.
I mean, in a large party, War Rune would be so good. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, if you have
Mhm.
a large creature you're fighting,
Just
it would boost a lot of damage.
Boss
30
fights,
30
yeah.
feet, yeah.
There's no like saving throw that creature gets to make
No,
either.
it just
It's just
happens.
all attack rolls are better against them.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
At 6th level, we have Sigils of Warding. You can call on a rune of protection to guard yourself against threats. When you fail a strength, dex, or con saving throw, you can use reaction and use one of your runic empowerment, the last feature, uses, and succeed the saving throw instead. So you do have to use another ability's uses, but you do get legendary resistance, essentially, for those
Yeah.
3 saving throws.
For every saving throw you're probably bad at,
Yeah.
that's not bad.
And also, you can auto-succeed a concentration check. So if there's a time, I mean, this would be later on, but if you took like 50 damage and you have an impossible concentration check of 25, you can just choose to succeed.
Yeah. And at that point, like,
So,
you're probably not going to be using your empowerments all that much.
yeah.
So that's pretty good. At 6th level, you'd have 3 empowerments, right?
Yes.
Proficiency bonus plus 3. So I think, personally, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think this should have its own uses, but
Yeah, that makes sense.
and leave the runic empowerment by itself.
Because
but
if you
yeah.
use this in combat, then you're pretty low on your other uses. And it's every long rest. So I still think it's crazy, though. You just choose to succeed.
It's really good because it just helps you not suck at things that you suck at. It's a good buff. It does what the buff's supposed to do.
But anyway, at 10th level, we have Rune Maven. Your understanding of runecraft has grown immensely. Whenever you use your arcane recovery feature, you can also regain a number of your expended uses of runic empowerment. The number of uses you regain can be no more than half your intelligence modifier, rounded up. So, I mean, they give you a way to recover them here, even though they're combining that kind of makes up for the combining the uses of 2 features.
Kind of. Can you only arcane recovery once per day? Or is it just every short rest?
It's once per long rest.
It's once per long rest?
So if you have a 20 intelligence, which you likely could by this point if you were 10th level,
Yeah.
yeah,
Get
you
3
would get 3 back.
out of your 4.
Out of your 4, yeah.
Not bad. That's not that bad.
So if you took a short rest during a day, you could have 7 potentially uses of those. That's actually pretty good, to be honest. Yeah.
That
That's
makes
not-
the 6th
that's
level
not too-
better.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for a 10th level class ability, doesn't give too much extra, but it does buff the stuff that you already get,
Yeah.
which is cool.
And I mean, by this point, War Rune could be +3 to everything. Yeah.
Yes. Because you're using 5th level spell slots.
Which is amazing.
Pretty nice.
+3 is game changing, I would say.
That'd be like giving everyone a +3.
Which is a
weapon.
very rare weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Pretty decent.
I know it doesn't fit your wizard, but I think it's pretty good.
Next up, at 14th level, we have Engraved Enmity. You have mastered the art of wielding your runes directly against your foes. As a bonus action, you can target a creature you can see within 60 feet of yourself. The creature must succeed a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or be magically marked by an enmity rune. The enmity rune appears as a faintly glowing mote of energy that hovers over the marked creature, which suffers the following effects. Runecraft's Bane. The creature has disadvantage on saving throws made against spells you cast. And next we have Unveiled Enemy. The radiance of the glowing rune makes the creature visible if it's invisible, and the creature can't become invisible while the rune persists. And last we have Woeful Curse. When you mark the creature, and as a bonus action on subsequent turns for the duration, you can invoke the Enmity rune to curse the creature until the start of your next turn. The next time one of your allies hits the cursed creature with an attack roll, the target also takes 1d8 force damage and the curse ends. The rune lasts for a minute, or until you lose concentration, as if you were concentrating on the spell. Once you have marked a creature in this way, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, or unless you use a spell slot of 3rd level or higher to use it again. So one thing I do want to mention really quick first is that you have to see the creature to use this feature, and then Unveiled Enemy says it makes the creature visible if it's invisible.
Okay.
So you see, yeah.
I get where there's an issue. But
Yeah.
you have to have seen visibility up to even.
Yeah, you would have to have seen visibility or true seeing, but it is. I think essentially the Unveiled Enemy is supposed to be like a fairy fire, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they can't become invisible afterward. But, yeah, that is kind of a weird error there. Not sure what the intention is. I also think the Woeful Curse should be more than one attack, but
Yeah, it's a
I can see
D8.
I can. It's one attack and it's only a D8. But yeah, I think that could be a bit better. But Runecraft's Brain is really good.
Well, it's like, it's not even on each of your other friendly people's turns, just one attack.
Yeah. One single attack against it gets an extra D8 of damage, and this is a 14th level ability.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, oh.
Yeah.
The Bane is good.
And on top of all
That's
of
awkward.
that, this takes your concentration. And that last little paragraph, as if you were concentrating on a spell. So yeah,
you can't concentrate on another spell.
Yeah, you can't concentrate on a spell if you're using this.
It makes it so much worse.
Is see invisibility or true sight concentration?
True sight's like, see invisibility is not concentration.
Oh, okay. So
So
I mean,
there's a workaround, but it still sucks.
But you want to be concentrated on your other spells.
yes.
I mean, like, especially if you're going to be giving them disadvantage
If you're
on the
14th
spells
level,
you cast.
if you're 14th level, you have 7th level spells, and you have 4 of them. You could have 4 of them.
Yeah.
You're like, there's no reason to concentrate on this.
The only reason to do it would be to make them get disadvantage so that they fail to save for your next concentration check, right? Or would that not work like that?
It would not work because you would lose concentration on this and then cast that spell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
You could like fire. This would only help like fireball, lightning bolt, cone of cold, things like that. Then they would have disadvantage.
Which I guess is okay, but man.
But yeah, the saves you want them to have disadvantage on are like concentration saves.
Yes.
Concentration spells.
And it's only spells you cast. It's not even they don't get disadvantage for everything else. It's only spells you cast.
Well, I can see that getting ridiculous if it's other people's, but
It's
yeah,
14th level, like.
that's true. Yeah, I think this kind of ends off with something pretty bad, but
It started out really good at level 2, in my opinion. It just didn't scale amazing.
yeah, I just think this 14th level one should be better, but the rest of the subclass is not too bad.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you can't forget it's a wizard. Like, they're already broken.
Oh.
Evoker gets like over channeled or like friggin' there's so much.
Imagine you're in a 6-person party.
An enchantment wizard gets a twin spell all of their enchantment spells at level 10. So like
Yeah. I mean, War Rune is what this thing's got going for it, in my opinion.
True. Yes.
Mhm.
War Rune and legendary resistance.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
effectively
legendary
legendary
resistance,
resistance. Yeah.
Okay. Those two really, really good. Everything else, okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool that you get the. Sorry. Yeah, you do get the legendaries. It's at level 6.
That is true.
That is something
yeah.
to think about. Like,
You get effectively 3 legendary resistances for strength, dex, or con.
at level 6.
Yeah. And dex and con are like 2 of the main saving throws. So.
Well, thanks for watching. If you want to read the full Unearthed Arcana, it'll be in the description down below. And if you want to see what we thought of other subclasses from this UA, you can click here.